What if I told you you may not actually have insomnia, not in the way you think? Because a lot of the time, insomnia doesn't just start because your body forgot how to sleep all of a sudden. It starts with something very real that happens in your life. Maybe stress, losing someone close to you, a season of overwhelm, maybe a health scare or a breakup. A few rough nights during a very difficult chapter of life. And yes, those things can absolutely trigger sleeplessness. They can really wake up your nervous system. But the event itself usually isn't what turns it into a spiral. What turns it into a spiral is what your brain starts learning after the bad nights start. The clock checking. That inner dialogue that you start to have with yourself. Things like, what if I don't fall back asleep tonight? All of that pressure and the monitoring and the trying to get back to sleep. And very slowly, without even realizing it, night stops feeling neutral. And it starts feeling important. And that's usually where the cycle will start. This is where things quietly will start to change. Because after enough rough nights, you stop saying, I've been struggling with sleep, and you start saying, I have insomnia. And that shift matters more than you might think. Because your brain listens to identity. And now, every night starts carrying this immense pressure. And every bedtime starts carrying anticipation. In every waking moment you may have at 2 or 3 a.m., it starts feeling loaded with meaning. What if it happens again? What if I'm not able to function tomorrow? Or what if I'm just becoming someone who can't sleep good anymore? And the more attention your brain gives sleep, the more alert it becomes around sleep. Not because your brain wants to hurt you, but because it thinks this must be important. So it starts watching, monitoring, and checking for danger or signs whether or not sleep is happening. And ironically, that is often the exact thing that keeps you awake. Because sleep usually happens best when your brain feels safe enough to stop monitoring it. And one thing to understand, the problem usually isn't the bad night. It's what starts happening around the bad night. One rough night suddenly feels catastrophic. So the next day becomes, I need to conserve my energy. I need to catch up tonight. I need to sleep. And now the pressure isn't only happening at night anymore. it starts following you through the entire day. And you start monitoring yourself constantly. Do I feel tired? How am I going to function? Or what if tonight happens again? And ironically, that hyperfocus is what keeps your nervous system activated. Now, sleep isn't just sleep anymore. It feels like a test, a performance, something with consequences if you don't get it right. And underneath all of this, your body never stopped knowing how to sleep. I know it might feel like it. But even after a rough night, even after several rough nights, your biology is still working. And sleep pressure is still building for you. And what that means, the longer you stay awake, the stronger your drive for sleep eventually becomes. But at some point, fear gets louder than biology. And that's when you stop trusting the process. Your body has followed your entire life. But this is the one thing that changes your perspective on all of it. You've already survived difficult days after rough nights. Maybe not comfortably, maybe not perfectly, but you did survive them. And that matters. Because your brain, it starts calming down when wakefulness stops feeling dangerous. You may feel sleepier than usual after a rough night. Of course you do. You may feel completely off. You may not feel like the best version of yourself. But that doesn't mean you're broken or something's wrong with you. It means you're human. In the moment you stop treating every sleepless night like an emergency, something starts shifting. One rough night doesn't usually create chronic insomnia. The fear surrounding the rough night often does. So your job is not to force sleep. Your job is to stop feeding the spiral. Because sleep was never truly gone. Your brain just learned to become afraid of wakefulness. And once that changes, sleep often starts feeling natural again.